Hey everybody, it's Sally. I just want to do a quick video to say that for those who know, I was in the hospital suddenly over the weekend. I am home. I am better. I'm still a little uncomfortable with the strange kind of stent they put inside of me. It almost feels like you've got a catheter in still. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. I'm hoping that in a day or two it'll feel normative, but I didn't get a lot of information from the hospital, so I'm trying to research online, and you know what that can do to your brain. So anyway, for those who don't know, I was having pain last Thursday, a little pain after a new gym class. I mean, it was Pilates, no big deal, but I thought, well, I must have stretched something different than I've normally stretched. Not that I don't do yoga and body pump, but maybe I bent away and pulled something. So I came home, laid down, had some chills, took a Tylenol. No, didn't take a Tylenol, took a Motrin, which I'm not supposed to take, but was the only thing in my house. I took one, laid down, fell asleep, and when I woke up the pain was gone. So I assumed it was, gee, that was an easy muscle spasm to get rid of. I had gotten in a hot tub when I came home, and that didn't help it. And it was up on my right side, which is why I thought when you do the bending thing here, whatever, it might have pulled it. That wasn't what it was in hindsight. Saturday afternoon, all of a sudden, I had this awful pain in my right side, up under my rib cage, below my rib cage, but on the right side where you actually have flesh, you know, where there's an area you can squeeze. Didn't understand it. Got worse. Got to be where I had to breathe like, kind of like labor breathing, to get through some of the twinges. I was definitely moaning. I would not say I was writhing, but I could think about Queen Steve and how he talked about his attack that he had, and I was really afraid, and I begged my husband to get the laptop and look real quick at gallbladder stuff, and that's what I decided it must have been. I was having a gallbladder attack. So we called Kaiser, my HMO advice nurse, and she says, you should absolutely go to the emergency room. So we drove 20 minutes out of town to the closest facility that would take Kaiser, and it was a good thing, because even though it wasn't so great in the waiting room for emergency, the hospital itself was lovely and the people were wonderful. So, having said that, they drugged me up. I drank a nasty thing so they could do a body scan. They said, no, it's not your gallbladder, it's your kidney. You have a kidney stone, a 5 millimeter or 6 millimeter kidney stone. Whatever it is, it's just too big to possibly pass through on its own. And then in hindsight, I started to say, at first they thought it was my appendix before they did the test, because it didn't present in a way that people look for kidney stones. Usually that's your lower back, and I know lower back pain. Oh, besides, somebody asked me to see my kitty. Come on, Smudgy, show off. You got to sit in my lap. There, that's for you, Chris. There's Smudgy. Are you okay now? I'll let you back down. Okay. Go then. I didn't ask you to come up here. Anyway, that was an interesting experience. Once they gave me morphine, I didn't feel the pain. I would feel a twinge, a little like discomfort level when the morphine wore off, but not pain, not like I'd had. So a urologist came the next day, and about Sunday afternoon, I got him put in the hospital bed at 3 a.m. on Sunday morning, and then my husband left, and I said, please just let people know on Facebook that I'm alive and it was a kidney stone, and just to pray for me or lift me up or whatever, send good wishes, whatever they want to do, whatever floats their boat. And he made a face like, I said, well, I don't care, I just thought it would be a nice thing to do. Well, lo and behold, he left 3 notes on Facebook, one of them which inferred I was in my lonely hospital room, and if anyone wanted to call me, it was at Virginia Hospital Center, and here's the phone number. I said, I had no idea he'd done this until the phone started ringing. The phone is ringing early. Hello? Sally, this is Antonia. I was like, oh my God, how did you get that? And then the phone rang, and it was wonderful. It was while I was waiting for surgery. I didn't have time to get anxious. I don't even think they call it surgery. They call it a procedure. I had phone calls from all over the world. I heard from Queen Steve. I was so blown away. And I, of course, talked to Josie on my cell, and talked to Rosemary, and it was just, oh, and Dawn Kingsbury called me. I was like, it was just such a shock. Then I heard from old college friends, and an old college friend came from around the corner where he's a youth pastor or a worship, praise and worship leader, and he saw where I was, and he knew it was just down the street, so he ran down to see me Sunday afternoon. It was such a thrill. And so by 7 o'clock that night, or maybe it was 6, I actually went down to the OR, and the urologist showed up and did his little thing and put in a stent. And that stent helps me not have a stone give me grief again until I have time and he has an opening in his schedule to zap it with sonic waves and knock it out. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is it's really important that we be aware, because I've done a little research. I honestly didn't know squat in the hospital, and nobody really told me very much. But this is very common for WLS patients, Roux-en-Y patients, gastric bypass patients. I don't know about the other group. I don't know that you're in any danger. But they tell you about the gallbladder, but they don't tell you about this other stuff, I don't think. And I never had kidney issues before. No one in my family has had kidney stones, so I was informed by my brother. And so I'm sure this is directly related to post-surgery life. I'm sure I have not drunk enough water, but that's not the only thing. They also say taking in too much calcium can cause the kidney stones, because most kidney stones are made up of calcium oxate or oxate, and some are made up of other stuff. But some of the things we need to be concerned about is how much calcium we take in. Now, especially if you take in the bad kind of calcium, the calcium phosphate, that definitely is a no-no. Citrate is a little lower on the end to be an issue. However, a lot of the foods that I like, that I don't eat a lot of protein. I won't lie to you. I do not eat meat hardly at all, and I really don't base my life around the protein source like I should. However, I do like Greek yogurt, and I love kale and spinach, and those things are high in the stuff I'm not supposed to eat anymore. Now, I've not heard this from the doctor. They're high in oxates. Anything that's high in oxates, I'm going to try and stay away from. But I haven't really gotten a dialogue with a physician about this. I'm kind of clueless, and I'm kind of scoping around in the dark to know the most I can. Anyway, just wanted to let you guys know, be aware of this. If you have a pain, I'm going to show you where, because they just automatically assumed it was my appendix because my pain was not in my lower back. Now, if you have pain here, women, you know about that pain when your ovaries act up for pre-period stuff. That's also where your kidneys will act up. But my kidney was right here. My thing was here. This is also apparently where your gallbladder is, somewhere up under your rib cage. Your gallbladder is like here. But my pain was like here, and almost felt like it was swollen up there. Well, apparently your kidney, it's not just my kidney, it's where your kidney goes into your urethra to come down to go pee. So in that long line from your kidney, that tube, that is where that thing can get stuck trying to leave your kidney, and it can't get through. So that is why, and that circles around just about here. So I just want you to be aware, ladies, that this is a major concern. And there is an article I posted on Facebook that I found on a WLS site specifically about, there's been a study, and it shows a huge increase in this in women after gastric bypass. Be aware, be savvy about your own body. Looking back now, I can see some of the things that I attributed to lower groin gas pain that was different than I used to have, was probably associated with this. Because sometimes they talk about really low groin stuff down there too with this. So I've probably had this issue for a little while. I also don't drink all my water, which I'm now going to rectify. So peace, love. You guys, I'm still okay. I'm a little sad I can't get to the gym and pump, but that's life. I'm going to wait for a week and carry on. Love you all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.